You are listening to the global network of podcasters dedicated to the pharmacy profession. Welcome to the Pharmacy Podcast Network.
The testimonials appearing in this podcast reflect individual experiences and individual results may vary. Cardinal Health does not claim, nor should the listener assume, that any individual experience recounted in this podcast is representative of what another consumer may experience. The Cardinal Health Counter Talk podcast, in collaboration with Pharmacy Podcast Network, is for independent pharmacists to learn about the state of the industry, innovative services and solutions, and the future of pharmacy. Join me, your host, Jason Calori, for conversations with pharmacists, Cardinal Health leaders, and industry experts, sharing best practices, discussing industry trends, and showcasing Cardinal Health products and services. You can subscribe to the Cardinal Health Counter Talk podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts.
One of my favorite segments that I did last year was women in pharmacy, and I loved it. So Cardinal Health RBC 2025 again. This is going to be good. I've got 3 women in the booth with me that are running the show and what they're doing, right? All right, so first I have Kiara Emery, right? So what I'll do is I'll go around and you guys can kind of introduce yourselves. That sound good? Kiara, what you got?
All right. Hi, my name is Kiara Emery. I'm the owner of Medicap Pharmacy and Compounding out in Concord, North Carolina. I'm also the owner of a health and wellness supplement brand called Emery Solutions.
Nice.
Yeah, we focus on combating drug-induced nutrient depletion. So
Love
a lot
it.
of patients experience that. Yeah.
Nice. All right. Malika Kopali, right?
Yes.
Did I say it right? Oh,
Yes.
man, so good. How are you?
I'm doing good, thanks. I'm Malika. I'm owner of 3 independent pharmacies in upstate New York, Syracuse, and Utica areas. And we have a great community presence in those areas. We offer so many services to people in the community.
Nice. I've never been up there. I've heard it's absolutely beautiful.
Oh, it's beautiful in fall.
Yeah,
and
don't go in the wintertime,
summer.
I heard.
Wintertime, I plan on moving to Arizona or Costa Rica or Thailand or India. So.
I could do Thailand and India. That sounds fun. And then we have Miss Michelle Britt. Michelle, how are you again?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
I was telling you a while ago when you came in, I bet you're a busy bee right now, right? So Michelle is Senior Vice President of Retail Independent Sales here with Cardinal. Today, you've brought us 2 fantastic ladies in healthcare and pharmacy world. I'm excited to pick their brains and see what they're doing well. So, yeah, Michelle, what do you got?
Yeah, so today we're going to talk about their journey becoming female pharmacy leaders. Both have had interesting pivots in the field. Let's talk about what inspired that shift in gears and what you've learned along the way. What's next for your pharmacy and the next generation of women pharmacy leaders? So let's go to our first question.
Yeah.
You both had major career transitions into pharmacy ownership. Kiara, you started as an aviation technician in the Navy.
Wow.
And Malika, you started working for a major pharmaceutical company. I'd love to learn more about what inspired you both to pivot into pharmacy and what you've learned from the experience and how it shaped you as a leader. Kiara, would you like to kick us off?
Yeah, so at the age of 19, I joined the Navy and came in as an aviation electronics technician. I knew when I came in that I did not want to be in the Navy forever. It was more just a stepping stone to get my schooling paid for, which it did, and it paid for that and then some. I got my master's in business while I was in farm school as well. I think P1 year, Dr. Ziegler, one of my professors, inspired me to do the ownership boot camp. I came to him for advice on how to get into a residency with a hospital because I wanted to work with elders. And he was like, I think you have an entrepreneurial spirit. I think you should try the ownership boot camp. And I didn't want to, but my husband was like, let's just go for it. Let's just try it. And we did, and I fell in love with it. And so P2 year, P3 year, and P4 year, I went to every ownership boot camp I could find. I mean, I went to way too many. But I loved it. And so I decided to get my master's in business as well because I really wanted to set myself up well for ownership one day. And then I also went on to do a residency in community pharmacy. And I did that through UNC. After residency ended, I became a manager until I had my son. And then I think a year and a half after residency is when I I purchased an existing pharmacy up the street from me. And that's where I am today. The biggest lessons I've learned are it takes so much longer and so much more money than you thought it would.
Girl, we could go down that rabbit hole all day.
Malika, that's truly exceptional. Malika wanted to share your story with us.
I loved being in pharmacy ever since my school days, where I worked as a technician in Harlem, New York. There's something incredibly gratifying working in the pharmacy, dealing directly with the consumers, with your patients, especially those who come from diverse backgrounds. So I worked later on in my career, I worked in pharmaceutical industries. It was very valuable experience. But deep down, I was missing the fulfillment which the pharmacy career did. So the connection, direct connection with the patients was something which was missing. So that brought me back to the pharmacy. I gained a lot from my industry, the corporate roles I took. There are some operational and management skills which I directly apply to my small business here. Yeah, so I would say that experience was valuable, but it wasn't as gratifying as the pharmacy career. That's how I ended up here.
Very nice. I've been supporting retail independence for the last 25 years.
That's amazing.
I grew up in this industry. It is an honor to lead this segment at this point in my career, and I know what it takes to get there along the way. And I'm truly inspired by what you all do each and every day. So thank you. I'm also a mother, so this next question we'll talk about balancing busy careers and setting boundaries. You're both mothers in addition to being busy owners. How do you balance your professional workload and family? What keeps you grounded? And how do you set boundaries to find personal fulfillment?
So I'll go first if that's okay.
Sure, yeah.
I don't have boundaries right now. I'm learning that no is a full sentence. Professionally, I like to take on a lot of roles. Like I'm also the community practice leader for a huge healthcare organization within my city, the Queen City Women in Business. And that takes up a decent amount of time. In addition to both businesses, I have a 3-year-old and a 9-year-old. And so really trying to have that work-life balance while everything requires so much of my attention is just, it's not there. It's just long days and long nights at this point. And I'm hoping that something starts, gelling for me so that I can get some semblance of a work-life balance. So I would love to actually hear her and how she's juggling it.
Okay.
So I must say I am equally, if not more, committed to my home as I am to my work. It's every day is a challenge, but I am very clear on what my role is at my home. Mm-hmm. So how I accomplish is I delegate as much as I can. I believe I don't need to master everything. So if there is something which my husband, he's a pharmacist too. So if my husband or a business partner, if they can do it much faster or more efficient than I am, I don't even want to learn it. I don't hesitate. I know what I'm doing at home, so I don't hesitate to make that phone call. And one more thing, there are setbacks. Every day is challenging. So we have to be clear on everything cannot be perfect. Not everything at work has to be taken care right at that moment. Things can wait. And even at home, not everything is perfect. Kids are disappointed most of the times maybe. But, your clarity and conviction to get up and do the right thing, that matters. That is something which takes me forward. And coming to boundaries, like you mentioned, I'm still figuring out what boundaries are. And I feel, that's the beauty of motherhood. There is no perfect boundaries. So, yeah, things will fall apart. You just navigate through it. You ask help wherever it is needed, and then just move on. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think I have a hard time asking for help, too.
I think over time I've learned how to ask for help in different ways. I think at first it was hard for me. My children are 15, 13, and 10 now. I think it's really important. My boundary is that I need to do a certain amount of exercise in a week because that helps me stay grounded. And I try to eat healthy. And we practice this at Cardinal, and I practice it at home. be there for the moments that matter, because you can't be there for everything. I travel quite a bit, but I think it's important for your team you to be present with your team and at home with your kids for when they need you. There's no such thing as work-life balance. I mean, it all meshes together. I will work on a Saturday, I'll work at night, but I will stop and go to my child's game, and I will stop and be there when they need me. So, you kind of set your boundaries based on how, and also what's going to fill your glass. You have to self-care is very important, because
that's so true.
Yeah,
that's so true.
If I may add, I take pride in being a hands-on mom and a good partner to my husband. He's laughing outside. I can see that.
Yeah, we need to get him in here and hear what he's got to say.
So I'm good at multitasking, like many women are. And I can take multiple phone calls of employees calling out. Same time, I can pull the fancy fruit tray for my child's school project. And that's a real life. So, there is no perfect balance. You just cherish every moment. And how I achieve my fulfillment is tiny things. Like I make a good meal and seeing everybody enjoy, that fills me. Taking a stroll outside my street with my husband, that fills me. I hope he's hearing that.
At the end of the day, I think it takes a village. So,
Yes.
I would not be able to do this job if I didn't have a strong network at home. But I also have a strong network at Cardinal. And that's allowed me to get to this role, and the support is important. So, what fills your glass. You want to go on a walk with your husband.
I think more women need to hear this too, that it's okay, because you feel like you see all these other women that are doing these amazing things. You just wonder, how are they doing it, and am I not enough? And so hearing the other side of it, of work-life balance, it's okay that it's not always perfect. That's nice.
Well, it's so. I also think about it as choose your hard, right? Because it's all hard,
It is all hard.
It is. It's all hard. So what are you going to choose? Like, I want my children to see how hard I work, and I want them to know they can accomplish anything that they set their mind to.
Yes.
I think it's important, but is it a lot of juggling? Yeah, my husband is an attorney. He works full-time too, so we juggle. He's on first, I'm on second. My kids play baseball, so everything's a baseball analogy.
Well, and I'll throw in here, as a guy, it's amazing as females, like, playing both those roles, because I think sometimes guys get off the hook a little bit. I'll be the first one to admit, right? Oh, honey, I'm at work. You can go do that. But what you said is more women need to hear this, and I think what you said is exactly right. Is the first step is knowing that I have to set boundaries. Right, that was me as an owner at home. Hey, I have to get home to my kids. Like, that's important. That can wait till tomorrow.
Right.
And so the first process in all of that is just admitting we need to have a process. And once you have that, it sounds to me like you're already the book nerd. You're going down to every class and everything you can. So, there are millions of books on how to delegate, how to run, how to operate. Now you're meeting people to talk to. How did you do that? Let me text you real quick. Yeah. And so utilizing that, your peers. But yeah, the first step for me was definitely so. For you ladies, I'm in awe that you can juggle it all, for sure. So
That's why we are proud.
Right. You should be. You 100% should be proud.
I think also along the way you learn how to outsource what you don't like to do, because I would rather, when I'm finished working, go for a walk with my kids, or take them to the park, or go outside and spend time with them. So whatever you don't want to do, put a value on that too, and have someone else do it.
It's valid.
Let's shift gears a little bit and talk about the future of pharmacy. Where do you see your pharmacy in the next few years? What are some trends you're seeing, and how do you plan to address these trends in your pharmacy? You want to start us, Malika?
Yes. Pharmacy career, it is fulfilling, but it is very challenging these days. Every one of us know that. So what I have learned through this journey is we can't say yes to everything. It does not mean we should put limits to our compassion, but you have to figure out how you can be more, you have to put resources where you can be more efficient. It means maybe you have to say no to some plans or some services which are exhausting. But that balance, you have to fine tune and find the find that balance where you don't compromise on your compassion and find alternatives. Same time, you have to sustain in business in order to help the community.
Right.
So that's been my focus right now. So where I see my pharmacy is, I want to improve the cash flow. Honestly speaking, I haven't achieved that, or it's a dynamic field. So the thing which works today might not work tomorrow. So I want to stay up to date with those things. Improve cash flow, whether it is services like serving long-term care communities or vaccination, or improve your front-end business. So I want to focus on that. That's my goal right now.
Okay. What about you?
And I can actually piggyback off that completely, because she said, you want to serve your community, but at the same time, you have to make it make sense. Is in a nutshell.
Yeah.
We've had to get rid of I don't want to say get rid of. We've had to stop servicing so many patients because of those terrible reimbursements that everyone's experiencing, and it's been very hard to have those difficult conversations with people. With that being said, we're leaning more into cash-based services. So where I see my future in pharmacy is leaning more into the compounding side. Because I own a compounding pharmacy, and when I first bought it, we weren't doing that many, and now we are. And so really just building onto that. And also potentially going towards the cost plus model. I know more pharmacies are looking into that, and that's something that I'm interested in doing as well.
Yeah, I think just finding ways to evolve
Yeah.
and serve your community in a greater way, if that's through compounding or other forms you spoke about, giving vaccines. And there's a lot of value to the community and financially in finding those additional revenue streams.
Yeah.
Especially
And if I may
clinically.
add, advocacy is something I want to be more engaged. It's disappointing, but this is something I feel like we have to voice. Whether it's with your involvement with the pharmacy groups or your engagement with the policymakers, whatever it takes, I want to make that also a part of my goal. I feel the voice matters. End of the day, that's something which is needed for this profession.
100%.
I agree as well.
Let's take a step back. What advice would you offer to young women beginning their careers in pharmacy?
Advice I would offer is we have to be clear on what we want. And then, like I said, there is no perfection. Love your job, proceed with caution where it is needed, and enjoy doing it,
I've seen so many rock star females in the pharmacy profession, and the profession's so diverse. I think, like she said, going into it, find what you're passionate about and just going for that. Coming in and kicking butt.
I have a quote that sits on top of my desk, and I share it with women that I mentor along the way. And it says, you can do anything, but not everything. So every time I take something on, I take something off my plate. And over the years, it's been really rewarding to see. We have so many different ways to support women within Cardinal. And even here at RBC, I was one of the leaders that helped bring women in pharmacy to our trade show. And I watched my team support these initiatives along the way. So I think opening doors for young women and supporting them in different ways, and just helping them believe that they can do it, like to find their passion and find their voice. And it's been truly rewarding. Let's do a lightning round. I know we're getting close to the end. Do you drink coffee or tea?
Coffee in the mornings and tea in the evenings. I think that rhythm is needed to keep me alive.
I drink coffee all day.
I'm a coffee
And at
too,
night.
for sure. Favorite leadership book?
Favorite leadership book? I do not have a leadership book, but the podcast, Indira Nooyi, Pepsi's former CEO, her talk about her leadership journey and how she navigated for that high-level management job. That's very relatable. I really enjoyed her speech.
I don't think I've heard it. I'm going to have to check that one out. What about you?
Mine, I'm trying to remember the name of it. I'm looking at my husband. It's the one that starts with a T. Traction. Thank you.
Traction. That's a
Yes.
good one.
It is
Yeah.
such a
That's a
good
good
book.
one.
A provider recommended that to me, and I ate it up.
Okay.
It's an amazing book.
Very cool. female leader, inside or outside of pharmacy, that you admire?
Do you want me to go first?
Michelle Obama. If you're listening, I love you.
That's my answer too, Michelle Obama.
No way, that's amazing.
Yeah, so I love her grace and the clarity she has and the way she sets boundaries in professionally and personally. And also I have one more leader. That's my mom.
Oh.
She's a great inspiration. She's a homemaker for a joint family. So from early on, what I learned from her is you don't have to get along with everybody, but you have to figure out and stay for your sanity and peace. So how I apply it to my work is I don't have to get along with my colleagues or manager or employees. You have to find the common ground and make everything peaceful and proceed from there. That's the greatest lesson I saw my mom, and I absorbed it.
Knowing which battles to pick.
Yes, knowing which battles to pick, yes.
For sure. All right, what is your favorite snack?
Does wine count as a snack? I'm kidding. I'd probably say Three Musketeers bars.
Carrots and cucumbers, just because it sounds good, but no.
Good answer.
I can eat everything, I like samosa, it's an Indian snack. Yeah.
All right, favorite way to wind down after work?
Going outside and playing with my kids, kicking the ball around. It's like nothing else suddenly matters. That's nice.
Staying grounded, that's great. What about you?
Gardening and watching some Netflix drama with my husband, yes.
I enjoy doing yoga, but anything with my kids. We'll throw the ball. We have a new puppy, so that takes a lot of our time. But we like to stay really active outside. Anything else to wrap us up here?
Yeah, as I'm sitting here listening, one, I'm very proud of you guys, ladies. Sorry, I use guys a lot. I don't know why. How long have you owned your store?
2 years as of last month.
Okay, what about you?
It's been close to 5 years.
5 years, okay. So as man, I'm showing my age. As a seasoned pharmacy owner, I will say you all are saying and doing the right things, right? Your mindset is right. You have to know that this is your passion. You have to set boundaries. You have to continue to learn, right? You also have to realize you can't do everything for free. And that's the hard one, right? And so setting those boundaries and learning those difficult conversations and stuff, everything you are saying is the right thing. And so I'm eager to come back in 5 years and me and Michelle sit down and do this again and talk to you guys and see how far you've come from there. And yeah, it's going to be awesome. And I'm really happy, like Michelle, thank you for doing this, because it always puts things into perspective. I think the voice sometimes for women gets lost a little bit sometimes, and it's very important that other women see other strong women doing this and taking a risk, right? And having supportive husbands who are sitting here videoing us the whole time, right? That's very important. So I always enjoy this. It's been great. On most of my podcasts, I always throw out at the end, what questions do you all have? You have, a senior Cardinal person sitting here and a seasoned pharmacy owner. What is a question that you would throw out real quick?
What's the number one piece of advice that you would give someone in my position right now as far as how to grow, but at that same time not, I guess, give away everything, trying to, because that's currently what I'm doing. Like I said, it's long days, long nights, no work-life balance, giving away things for free a lot.
Yep. My journey, and Michelle can probably chime in on this as well, my journey was being okay with who I am. It was more of a personal journey for me. When I found out who I was as a person, spiritually, mentally, entrepreneurially, and was okay with that, and then also realizing what was my goal. Okay, so be comfortable with who you are. Realize you're going to make mistakes, and learn that what's important and go for that. never stop learning. I know there's a lot of little pieces of education I'm throwing in there, right? But it's all goes back to who you are. If you just keep beating yourself up and thinking you can't do it and this, I mean, then you're not going to achieve what you want to achieve. So know who you are and be comfortable in your own skin, I would say.
Thank you.
Michelle, does that make sense?
Yeah, I think it makes perfect sense. I would tell you, you're going to fail fast and move forward.
Right.
I think just being present and setting goals for yourself. There's a lot on this trade show floor. Maybe you want to try some new things. Look, I know my team supports you from a pharmacy standpoint. I think one of the things in coming here is learning from each other and taking back some best practices, because there are a lot of pharmacies doing really well today and thriving. So I think helping yourself determine how can I position myself to thrive with those additional revenue streams. And you already talked about a few of those, but those are going to be super important. But give yourself some grace, right? And try to find that balance. And maybe it's partnering. Maybe it's there's so many different ways to get ahead. But I think if you set those goals for yourself, you're going to look back and just continue to be really proud. And I would also just say you make a very strong impact in your community. So I think like that alone, to me, that's so rewarding. I look at my team and you know, I that's something that I you sometimes forget the impact you're making. So there's a lot of success in that.
Reflect.
As well. Yeah,
you need to reflect.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I know we'll get to your question in just 1 second, but make friends. There are so many pharmacy friends around here that just want to talk and they want to share. I don't have a single enemy in this building, and they might be my next door neighbor pharmacy. We're all in it together. And I know so many people in this room just from the years of talking and calling them, text them. Be the weird one. Be the weird pharmacist. Hey, I saw you were doing this. What is it? I saw it on a podcast, or I've seen it on Instagram. What is that? They'll share. So
I see that every day.
Every day.
Be curious enough to ask, and then be that sponge. Like take it all in.
Take it all in.
And make it your own. Like they're willing to share. They may even come to your store and help you do it.
Yes. Yeah. What question do you have for us?
I have a question for you, Michelle. From when you started your career to now, I know there are so many things we can complain on a level playing field for women, but from my experience, what I noticed is it's going positive. You know, it wasn't. It can be better, but it's still the support which we get from our spouses or the expectations of the society, they have been changed. They are gearing towards women's success. So at the same time, we also feel like it could have been better. So how do you balance that out? How do you control your anxiety? And I see you're very calm. You have a positive
I do a lot
presence.
of exercise. As I said, that's one of my boundaries. I think looking back, I would tell you that I've worked for Cardinal for 25 years. I grew up in this industry. The culture at Cardinal is so supportive. I look back and I've just been inspired by so many amazing leaders. Was it easy? No, absolutely not. A lot of times I was the only woman in the room. But I think I felt supported enough at home and at work that I found my voice. And I found my passion my passion is being in sales and supporting my team so that they can support you all. And just being that conduit in between the organization and what retail independents need. There's so many avenues you can take your career, and I've always felt supported. I always felt like, did I always get it right? No. But when I didn't get it right, I think I was very open and honest on, hey, I could have handled that differently. And I think along the way, some men leaders maybe didn't know how to handle that. I would call myself out. I would say, here's what I'm going to do different. And you grow. And I've always felt supportive. It has been hard. It has been hard because sometimes you feel guilty. But I also wouldn't change it. I want my daughter to know that she can accomplish anything she puts her mind to. But I think having that strong network and knowing what you need to fill your glass, as I mentioned earlier, I'm a much better person when I do yoga a few times a week and I go to the gym. I'm a much better mother. I'm a much better boss.
Yeah, we can save that complaining about men to a different podcast. But
Yeah,
I
I'll
should
step out of
say,
that one. I'm not going to be in that one.
I should say all my mentors, the people who supported me, are men. It's
Me too.
My former boss, Brahmaji. He's a very successful businessman. But what stands out is his humility and the encouragement which he gave. And he's the one who showed kindness and compassion matters, even in the leadership. That makes your work easier. And my husband, I jokingly call him my Xanax because he calms me down. He irritates me. That we'll say for other podcasts when he's not a part of it. So, but he makes me zoom out and look at the bigger picture. And I must say, even my business partner, he's a man too. But he's very supportive, and I can argue to the core on the issue with him, but still come out sane out of that argument. So all the people who shaped me here, they are men. Not that women did not support me. There are so many women, they're girlfriends. I don't see them as mentors, but yeah.
We need allies, that's for sure.
Yes.
That's right.
We definitely need more female mentors out there.
Yeah. And my last piece of advice is surround yourself with people you want to be around that lift you up, right? What is it? I learned the 5 people you hang around is who you're going to be. And so hang around with people that lift you up, and pharmacy leaders and spiritual leaders and whatever it is. Find those people. Sometimes you got to say no, too, to other people, too. So that's a hard one. That's a whole nother podcast we can go down, right? Kiera, Malika, Michelle, thank you. I always enjoy this podcast. It puts another perspective of the pharmacy world that I think we need to shine a brighter light on. You guys have great stories. You're doing great. Don't beat yourself up. Don't beat yourself. You're doing fantastic stuff. Your mind's in the right spot. And I'm just eager to see you guys grow. So, Michelle, you have any final thoughts? Or
Other than thank you, this was truly amazing. I love learning more about each of you. Adam, thank you. It's always a
Yes,
pleasure
ma'am.
sitting down with you.
Yes,
Thank you
ma'am.
for being at RBC. Enjoy Denver.
yeah.
Thank you both.
All right. Pharmacy Podcast. We are out. Thanks, guys.